Hi, it's Talking Reds. I'm Josh Sexton, joined today by my mate Kev Walsh. It's been a while since we've done one of these, mate, hasn't it?
Been a good while, mate, hasn't it? It was used to be done with Andy, but then got Josh. Highlight of my day so far, I can tell you that.
Absolutely, yeah. They've been keeping us apart, I think.
Well, they don't want to give too much of the good stuff away, do they? That's what it is.
Exactly. There is a paywall for that kind of thing. So yeah, subscribe to the Anfield Rap. That's a good way to start. Another good place to start though is I was sort of trolling through Twitter yesterday, Kev, and you know, it was a bit of a strange one. Like the reaction to the Community Shield, I thought was, you know, broadly how I expected it to be. There didn't seem to be too much of a sort of head loss, but there seemed to be, you know, a general sort of a good sense of perspective from it. But then I was really laughing because of all the people I expected to come out and start skitting City, Diego Simeone was not the one who I had top of my list. But I'm into it.
Nah, definitely Diego Simeone can give anyone stick, can't he? Because he's an absolute lunatic. It's good to see he's got his eyes trained on City, the big gang of frauds.
No, the quote he says is, teams are being born like Manchester City who have no history. There's a bit more before that. He talks about how Ajax have got a good playing style, how Real Madrid are just using their stars basically to play the way they do. I was sort of reading it, and I was, as much as I found it funny, I sort of thought, this is probably quite like a sad reality now for football, isn't it? You're going to get probably more and more teams like City who come down over the years, who they basically just get a rich owner, they become his plaything, and then they just buy all these world-class footballers and sort of take over.
Do you know what, it's one of the, if someone bought Liverpool like that, and we say Dubai had brought us back off Hicks and Gillette, I'd have been absolutely fine being a rich man's plaything if you sign a Messi, and I'm sure all these teams that you say, Man City have got no history in that's fine, but Chelsea had no history 20 years ago. They were a very small team, but now they're a massive team now, and fair play to them. Like, we've got that song which I can't bear when we sing it anymore, about them having no history. They've been making their history. I don't think they've gone 2 seasons in the last 15 years or whatever without winning a trophy. They've won everything there is to win. And Man City fans are probably thinking, well, just because Man United have been established for 100 years as this massive club, but it's not even 100 years for United. They probably mid-80s to now. And what are we going to do after that, like, forever, as these top 4 clubs win everything and no one else gets in there? So I don't blame Man City fans for probably reveling in it. Like, having thank you banners to shake Mansour and all that's a bit. But this is a club we've got electronic banners going on the ground, isn't it? So we can't expect too much from them. But you can see Diego Simeone's point. You're talking about a club like Atletico Madrid who are steeped in history and come from a place where football is an absolute passion. And I think it's more about that than it is about, oh, they've got no history. It's about having people who go to the match and delighting people, you know what I mean? It's being the highlight of people's week to go. And listen, Man City might get that in the future, but it's going to take 30 years for that to develop. At the moment, they're just seen as like a joke, because you get to Wembley in a cup final and you've got to have been to 1 game to qualify for the ticket, and they're offering 6 tickets per customer for Charity Shield and stuff like that. And listen, the real City fans who've been going when you're in the 2nd division must be having the time of their lives. They probably don't want a load of new fans who don't know the songs, who don't know what they're doing coming to the match, but by the same token, that's why when they won the treble last year, no one gave a shit. Like, when we won the European Cup, we just knocked them right off the backhand front page, I suppose. And that'll be a frustration for them, and long may it continue, but hopefully we can get in there and break that up for them anyway by taking a league title off them.
There probably is a wider point in this as well about the finances of the sort of clubs who are at the top of European football right now. I know this whole sort of thing has started with which Simeone's commented on, because I think City judged Klopp to have basically like skittered how much money they can spend. They were all saying, oh, City don't spend 200 million every summer, when that was not what Klopp said. He said they could spend 200 million every summer if they wanted to. They're obviously not going to do that, but they're spending a fair bit. But then City fans will turn that around and say, well, Liverpool spent 70 million on Van Dijk, spent 60 million on Alisson. You could even look at Atletico Madrid. They've spent 100 million on a lad who's younger than me, and everyone on here thinks I'm 12. So.
Yeah, but listen, City will argue that they're doing the foundations for a 20-year dynasty, yeah, which is fair play to them. If we had that money, that's exactly what I'd want us to do. I'd want us to be in for the João Felix. He's a 19-year-old kid, but he looks like he could be the next world superstar. So I'd want us to be in for him. I'd want us to be willing to pay whatever money it takes to get everyone. I argued when Sterling went, and people were saying, oh, well, we got 50 million for him. But I don't care about getting 50 million. I want to see the best players playing on the pitch for Liverpool, and I especially don't want to see players sold. I understand sometimes players have to go, but I don't want to see players sold for no one's benefit other than the owners. Do you know what I mean? I pay my season ticket money, and we all pay our ticket money. We all, whether you just buy merchandise, whatever you do, we pay it. But we pay it because we want to see Liverpool be successful on the pitch. And when when Sterling went is probably a good example really. People were saying, well, he wants to go, leave him, let him go. Well, at the time he was asking for 200 grand a week and Liverpool offered him 100 grand. A rival where he didn't even have to move out was willing to pay him double that every week. And we were like, well, we've got Jordan Ibe. So Man City there have got one over on us no matter which way you want to look at it, because Man City now, when Sterling have got one of the top 5 players in the Premier League. They're building for themselves and for their fans the future of their club. The problem they've got is it's unsustainable if the owner decides, for whatever reason, I'm fed up with this now. When you're one man's plaything like that, it can all come falling down. So City fans are probably thinking, well, I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts, because they've all got the natural City, like the self-deprecating real City fans, because they've had years where, do you know what I mean, they've been watching Paul Dickov and Paul Warhurst and terrible players like this running around for them playing second division football, and they got 30,000 in the second division. You can't argue with that. They're getting the same 30,000 now in the Premier League, and probably a lot of the normal everyday fans who were going then have got fed up and they don't like this style of football. But if I was a City fan, I'd be basking in the glow of it, do you know what I mean? They've been to Wembley 10 times in the last 2 years or whatever it is. They've won the league twice in a row with an averaging 98 points. Fair play to them.
Yeah, it seems like the only way Liverpool can sort of compete with City these days is selling to buy, which, to be honest, I'm absolutely fine with, especially when you see the sort of figures that are getting knocking around for the academy lads. And there's 2 who look like they could leave this week as well. Well, Harry Wilson's is a loan, but apparently Liverpool after a big loan fee and assurances around his game time. And then there's Ryan Kent as well, who leads, one Bournemouth, one Wilson. Do you think that if those 2 were to leave, you know, within this week, obviously the transfer window closes on Thursday anyway, if they were to leave this week, that would make Liverpool go into the market for a forward? Do you think that Liverpool have been looking at a forward all summer anyway?
If that's the case and they leave and then we go and sign someone, I'll be very, very disappointed with FSG, because what difference does it make if Ryan Kent and Harry Wilson are in the Liverpool squad? If we've spotted a player who can improve that squad, Harry Wilson and Ryan Kent specifically, listen, he's a young kid and good luck to him in the future, but it's clear as day that he's not going to play for Liverpool.
Klopp's basically said it himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, Klopp's told me what you've got to leave. Harry Wilson, I think, is a little bit different. I think there's, it's not an age thing with Harry Wilson. I think it's a development piece. So if we sell them 2 and get a combined total of 35 million quid and then go into the market to sign someone for 35 million quid, that says to me that the owners are not doing it right. That the owners are making us sell to buy players when we've been to 2 Champions League finals, we've posted record profits. We're not, they've proven themselves to be astute owners. I wouldn't say they're necessarily the most generous, but they've backed the manager when he's needed it with massive signings. But they've done that, as I say, astutely. I don't want to watch an astute football club. I want to be like a Man City where you go, well, we spotted this fella and he's going to cost us 100 million quid, let's go and get him. Harry Wilson, I think, he looks like he's on the cusp of becoming a Premier League footballer to me, and to sell him now just seems like it'd be silly, because if we sell him now for 25 million quid to a Bournemouth, and then in 2 years' time Man City sign him for 80 million quid or whatever, you think, well, we only had to give him another 12 months and we could have had him there. We could have developed him into our own player and put him into the team. It's clear he's got attributes. Whether they fit to our team, I don't know. But I think he does need a loan move somewhere to one last go to prove that he can play in the Premier League.
And what do you reckon the chances are of Liverpool getting any business done now before Thursday? Seems slim, doesn't it? I think it's been the signs coming out of the club for months, weeks now, that we're not going to sign anyone. It just sort of feels really unlikely now, doesn't it, with a few days to go?
Well, it'd be totally reactionary to sign someone now. It just doesn't seem Klopp's style, so I'd be very, very surprised. Don't get me wrong, if Kylian Mbappe wants to join us before Thursday, I'm all for it, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah,
I think we'll have to settle for Adrian on this one. Things to talk about at the Anfield this week, though. We've got a new book out about last season called Numero 6, Numero 6, as it says on the cover.
Who edited that?
I edited that, Kev.
Wow. This 12-year-old is editing books, can you believe it?
Yeah, we just had a few copies arrive today. We're going to be doing some promo around that, so look out for that on all our social media channels. The book's about last season, obviously in the build-up to the Champions League, but also about the league season as well. It's a good laugh. There's loads in there from all of our contributors. Ben Johnson as well, who I know everyone loves. Hopefully we'll get Kevin one next season as well.
Get me on it, mate. Get me on it.
Right, that has been Talking Reds for today. Nice one, and up the Reds.